naming of anything to anyone who mattered. Before the first allegiance, before anything was shattered into the particular constellation of a life like mine. It was a Tuesday in October and there was Caroline. And I was just a man with unexceptional credentials who made a laugh on a fire escape with nothing confidential. In my pockets, no leverage, no hierarchy to manage, just the raw and unmediated want, the sweet damage of a thing that had no strategy behind its opening. No calculation, just a chest widening and tightening simultaneously, the way it does when something irreversible begins and you don't know yet. That's the most dispersal grace, to not know the pure uncontaminated feeling before the world gives it a cause, before the ceiling. I loved her before the empire, before the weight had a name, before the city knew my number, before I learned the game. She knew me when I was unfinished, when I was soft and plain. I loved her before the empire, and the empire is to blame for everything it required that made me not the same. Man, she felt cold on that fire escape in the October rain. She had a way of occupying silence without colonizing it. Would sit beside me in the quiet, dignifying it with her particular stillness. Not the stillness of depletion, but the fullness kind, the kind that needs no completion. From outside itself, I didn't have a word for it at 22. Just knew the room felt differently configured when she went through. The air change barometrically had less substance. I built my first understanding of what absence really cost. From watching her leave a room, that education preceded every other, the foundation of revelation. That some presence restructured the molecular arrangement of the space they occupied, and hers was the engagement that recalibrated everything. Before I knew that rooms could do that, before I learned to weaponize my own, she showed me who that was. I loved her before the empire, before the weight had a name, before the city knew my number, before I learned the game. She knew me when I was unfinished, when I was soft and plain. I loved her before the empire, and the empire is to blame for everything it required that made me not the same. Man, she felt cold on that fire escape in the October rain. The empire didn't take her in a single dramatic rupture. No ultimatum, no confrontation, no sculptured moment of departure that the narrative could hold. Just a slow attrition of a man becoming cold in all the places she required warmth. The incremental hardening, the calcification of the sentimental into something functional. I started coming home later, started speaking less, became the careful curator of my own interiority. Kept the vulnerable quarters locked from everyone. The empire's orders require man imperature, and I complied so thoroughly that when she finally left, I barely felt the symmetry of loss. And that absence of feeling was the loudest evidence that the empire had already taken everything of consequence. I saw her once 11 years subsequent, a brass to brown in Lisbon. Something eloquent and unremarkable about the way she occupied a chair to sane the undermined quality of her around her. She was with a man who laughed too easily, which meant she chosen warm, chosen breezy over whatever I had offered, which was gravity without the gentleness, the apparatus of importance without tenderness. I didn't approach, just watched her from the bar. That's all I could broach the distance. Watched her undiluted, watched her free of me, and something in that freedom looked like what I used to be. Fire escape in October, she left something small. I had nothing in my pockets, nothing on the wall. No empire, no burden, no name in the hall. Just a man who loved her before the rise, before the fall. Before he learned that building kingdoms cost you the only thing worth having after all.